And y'all probably like, why are you calling this girl Hungry Hungry Hippo? It's gonna make sense. Her laundry had a sense of like some type of like smell, feel something. You clean it after yourself. Like, Janiya, it kind of smelled like wet towels in here. And I'm like, today's video is a story time on my horror roommate. I will say this situation I do not care anymore. This is not to bash her. This is not to like bash her. This is a story time. So if she ever see this, I don't feel no type of way about you, girlie. It's old, but it's for entertainment purposes. If you see my nail broken, manage your business. Thank you. For this story time, we're gonna name the girl Hungry Hungry Hippo. So I met Hungry Hippo. It was around summer of 2025. Well, the end of summer. So you know how you like you have to go to your college orientation to like learn about your school and stuff. So when I was in the process of switching my schools from LSU to the school that I go to now, I met her at orientation. We just happened to sit at the same like table with she was with her mom and I think her granddad, and her mom and my mom were kind of like talking a little bit. They were asking, questions about the school, the shuttle bus, simple convo. So when we were at orientation, I just noticed that like she just seemed like a chill person. She didn't really like do too much. It was orientation, y'all. So they broke us up into small groups. So Hungry Hippo happened to be in my group for the orientation tour. So we were in a group. They just basically went over like school stuff, and then I asked Hungry Hippo for her Instagram. She gave me her Instagram, and we kind of talked a little bit in a little small group, or it was probably just the two of us. I don't know, but we talked. And then at the end of the our little small group sessions, me and Hungry Hippo went back to the table with our parents, and they basically asked us questions like, oh, how was the little thing, and that was the end of orientation. So at the end of orientation, or like, okay, I don't want to mess it up, so like basically at the end of us with our group or whatever, and we went back to the table, she asked me, Hungry Hippo asked me like, do you have a roommate and stuff? And I told her I didn't have a roommate because I just switched my school, so I didn't really know people at the school, so I didn't really have no type of roommate yet. So she was like, oh, me either. I don't have a roommate. We could be roommates.
Bitch, please.
That is the red freaking flag. Not the fact that she asked me to be roommates. It's the fact we didn't know each other well, y'all. We met at orientation. So after orientation ends, I go home with my parents. Then me and Hungry Hippo, we started texting back and forth. So she was texting me about like, oh, which housing we should get. Woo got the bam. I told her like which housing we should get. Then I noticed like one day Hungry Hippo texted me. She was like, do you have like a refrigerator and do you have a microwave? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, because I think they said we could only have like one, and I was trying to make sure that you have one or whatever. Then I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, she's saying like Hungry Hippo saying that we could only have, she asked me like basically do I have like my necessities and the stuff that I need, and she said we could only have one. And then my mom was like, well, you do, I think you can have both or whatever, but I think we could have both. I don't know. But she was just asking me that, and it kind of threw me off. And I'm like, yeah, I have this and I have that. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she asked me, like, well, she asked me over text, like, well, could we share? But I was like, well, I don't mind, but like, I do mind at the same time. So, like, when she was texting me this, I'm like, I do mind to an extent. Like, you kind of got to ask me. Like, I just don't. Okay, let me get y'all a little background on the queen. I'm the only child. I always have my own stuff. So it's not that I'm not a sharing person. Like, when it comes to my friends, I'm very, very giving. I'm very, very caring and a sharing person. But my mom has raised me a certain way to where it's like, what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. Even with when it comes to my mom stuff, like what's hers is hers, what's mine is mine. Like, I never had to share because I don't, have like siblings and stuff like that or whatever. So yeah, so when she said that, it kind of threw me off, but I was like, well, yeah, but you kind of got to ask me. That's all I said, right? So me and her, we texted. Then she's like, well, I have like lots of clothes and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, she was telling me like how she was going to bring all her clothes, which she did. She definitely did. So fast forward to move-in day. So we moved in the rooms, like the dorm rooms, around August, like at the end, or probably the beginning of August. I don't remember, y'all. So I moved in first. I got here earlier, and my parents and stuff, everybody was, helping me, like, kind of switch up the room, because the way they had the room set up, it was like, it was kind of hard for her to have her set. Like, it's just a lot of different pieces when it comes to the room. Like, you basically got to furnish it a way that it looks right. So that's what we was doing, right? So Hungry Hippo and her mom came in really, really later. So when they came in, Hungry Hippo did not have like all the stuff that like you really needed to have, like the necessities. Like, she had a lot of clothes, she had a lot of shoes, she had a lot of purses, but when it came to like she didn't have a refrigerator, she didn't have a microwave, she didn't have, that. Also, plus not having that, she didn't have like a fan at first. She didn't have a, what was it, like a like your comforter set, like a, she didn't really have a real bed set yet. And her mom kept telling her like, oh, I'm just gonna send you all of that stuff, like I'm just gonna send you all that stuff, which she did, but she sent it like later. So that was like a red flag to me, because it's like, she brung a lot of her clothes, but where's the stuff that kind of matters, So even my mom kind of noticed that. My mom was a little thrown off. She's like, why did she bring like so much clothes and stuff, but not the necessities? Like, where's the necessities at? But she had like a few necessities, but like your bedding, your fan, some stuff was just missing. But that wasn't my problem. Now, next to the next thing. So as a person, I got to learn her, and I will say Hungry Hippo as a like, as a person, I don't think she's a bad person. Like, she did seem, pretty to herself. Mind you, she's the only child too. She did seem to herself, like she was an okay person. But when it came to a lot of stuff, y'all, this is where I gotta get into it. So Hungry Hippo had a problem with trash, y'all. She would allow her trash to fill up, and that bothered me. Now, I didn't say nothing about that because it was like, I don't want to seem like I'm nobody mama and tell you when to do stuff, but that was a thing. So she let trash build up, and then she would take it out, but it would be at the very, very end. Like, at the very end, she would take it out. Then she had a problem with laundry, y'all. Her laundry had a sense of like some type of like smell, like a house smell. I don't want to say, like, I don't know, like, it's like a smell that you can't get rid of for some reason. That's what her clothes smell like her laundry basket, whatever. So her laundry basket would fill like to the top, and it just smelled kind of off. So I literally had to tell my mom, like, I need to find something for the room because it smelled like wet towels. That too, she also had like towels in the mix of her like clothing. I don't know, something was off with the smell. And how I knew I wasn't tripping, because I had my friend come in the dorm on my side in my area, and she was like, Janiya, it kind of smelled like wet towels in here. And I'm like, mind you, I've done my laundry already. So I'm like, it gotta be her side. And my friend not know, she's not gonna piggyback off of like what I said just because I felt some type of way. Like that's what she genuinely smelled. And I was like, dang, I just said that too. I just said I need to go get like some air scents because it's something with her wet towel. So I addressed her and I let her know, like, hey, my company came over and they said that it smelled like wet towels. I said it just like that. I was like, they said it smelled like that, and I think you should, do something about it. And she was like, oh, well, I'm supposed to do my laundry like Sunday. And then I guess she did her laundry. That was one little incident. Then there was another little incident with Hungry Hippo. She just like kind of put all of her drinks, well, a majority of her drinks in my refrigerator without asking me. And mind you, I kind of had like all my waters in there and stuff like that, but she didn't ask me, y'all. Like, yes, we're not close of friends. So, like, when you just do stuff without, like, oh, is it okay if I put like majority of my drinks in there, then I probably would have been like, okay. But like when I noticed, you didn't ask me. And I literally sent her a screenshot. I was like, you got a lot of your drinks in here, and also this is kind of my refrigerator, so I want to put majority of my drinks in here or whatever. So that was another thing. When it came to the microwave, I did not mind her using my microwave, but it's more of like she needed to clean it. Like if you're gonna use the microwave and you spill something, you clean it after yourself. Like you clean it, okay? And that was another thing too. I was like, please clean the microwave after you use it. So that was another thing with Hungry Hippo. And y'all probably like, why are you calling this girl Hungry Hippo? It's gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense, y'all. So that was a whole nother thing. Now, and then it's another incident. So my friend had her cousin. Okay, so my friend cousin also went to school with us. She doesn't no longer go to school with us. So I allowed her cousin at the time to, spend a night, come over the dorm. So I introduced her. I'm like, oh, this is who I introduced Hungry Hippo. Like, this is my roommate. This is my friend. Whooped out the bam. Whoop out the bam. So they spent a night. It was cool. She was cool with it. Everything was cool. But the next morning, y'all, I had, quickly, did my laundry and stuff, and I was doing my laundry. So my friend cousin, right, the cousin, she told me, she was like, your roommate just allows her friends to like open the door, like bust in the door like early in the morning, just like freely. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, she was like, I just peeped that like they don't have no boundaries and stuff. So I'm like, really? I'm like, cause mind you, my friends can't do that. Like, my friend can't come in my room without my knowledge, or like I didn't never gave them the key to do that. So I'm like, how can she just bust in the room like that? And she was like, yeah, I just noticed, like, there's no type of like boundaries, and hungry hippo friend just like bust through the door. Like, it was like little things that was adding up for me to just like fully not like it, like her as a roommate. So it was like little things. So I'm like, what? This is the story. I know y'all probably finna be like, Janiya, really? Like, really? But y'all, this is what took it over. This was my last straw with Hungry Hippo. So I told my mom to like, make me some food. I asked her, can you make me like a big thing of Alfredo, because I love Alfredo. And she made me a big, like a good size of Alfredo. And she also, took me to the store and got me some groceries. So I put it in my room. I put the Alfredo in my room. Now I told Hungry Hippo, like, my mom did make some Alfredo. I'm gonna offer you some. That's what I said. Then I also told my other friend, like, my mom made some Alfredo. I'm gonna offer you some as well. Then I told her cousin, but her cousin, her stomach has like it's certain stuff she could eat from her own mom cooking, if that makes sense. Like, it's certain stuff that she eat and she don't eat. So I was like, she said she ain't want none. So I said, okay, that's fine. Mind you, I was with my parents majority of the time that they did come and see me. So once we put my food up and my groceries up, I was with them. So I didn't eat none of the food, y'all. Like that, like, because I was with my parents, because my parents had had bought me some food. So later that night, I did eat some of the food because, I'm like, okay, I kind of get hungry. So I ate a little bit of the food. Not a big portion because I still really wasn't that hungry. Like, I ate a portion of it just to try it, but I wasn't that hungry. So, mind you, I said I offer both of them, my friend's son and my roommate, Hungry Hippo, some food, right? So, why the next day, and stuff, I go to class, everything's fine. Woo out the bam. I'm thinking, okay, after I get out of class, I'm finna overly eat, okay? So I come in my room, I open my fridge. Why is it like a corner of the Alfredo left? When I say a corner of the Alfredo. And I'm like, I literally went, my mind, like, y'all should have seen my face. I was like, ain't no way my food is going. Like, I was so hurt. Man, I was hungry. I got out of class. I was hungry. I'm irritated. I'm mad. I'm furious. I'm all those things. I wanted to, like, overly smack somebody.
I don't know who to slap.
My mom, I'm like, Mom, my food gone. Man, my mama can't do nothing about my food being gone. But I'm like, I'm irritated. I'm like, my food is gone. I just got out of class. I'm hungry. I didn't expect to get nothing else for lunch because I knew I had food in my refrigerator. My mom like, what? How's your food gone? Ain't no way. So I come back in the room. Then I'm like, Hungry Hippo, you ate my food. You ate my food. Imagine, Hungry Hippo was asleep. So I'm like, Hungry Hippo, did you eat my food? You ate my food. She like half sleep. So she like, no, but I think your friends did, or maybe my friends did, or I think the door was open and my friends came in here and ate it. And I'm like, well, tell your friends. I don't know who did it, but I'm like, somebody is responsible for this, so tell them they cannot come in here and eat my stuff. And mind you, I knew she was lying because I'm like, how would you allow your friends to come in our room and eat up my stuff? It's not theirs. It's not their stuff at all. So how, and it's not yours either. So how do you allow them to do that? So I'm like, what? I'm like furious, bro. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm like, Ma, this is the last straw. This is the last straw. And she like, you need to find a way to, get your own room. Thank God I did. But you need to find a way. So she sent me, so Hungry Hippo sent me a screenshot, and the screenshot is basically her friend saying they didn't eat my food. So your friend saying they didn't eat my food, so you ate my food. Somebody did, and I know it wasn't me. You ate majority of my food. Because ain't no way, y'all, when I say a corner, like, I call my friends, I tell them the whole situation. They like, ain't no way. She said we came in there. We don't have your key, Janiya. How did we eat your food? Like, we don't have your key. I'm like, yeah, she said y'all did it. And that was so funny. When they told me, they was like, how did we do it? And then my friend cousin, she didn't eat none at all. I told y'all, she didn't eat none at all. I didn't give her, well, she didn't want none, so I didn't give her none. So they was like, what? That's kind of crazy. That's like, wow, that's really wow. And I'm like, the crazy part is, it's not like I told her she couldn't have nothing. I offer her to have some, not majority of my food. I said, hey, look, my mom made me a pan. You can have some. But I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get my own room because I'm like, this is my last straw with her. So I had to go through a process of like, we kind of had like a mediation with our RA, and then I had to talk to a director over like, you know, over my RA. So he's like a director, and I told him the stuff that I've been dealing with, and my problem, mind you, I probably left out a few other situations, but my main problem was she never knew how to ask first. Like, she didn't know how to ask first before you start touching my stuff. And even when it came to my fan, before she had a fan, she used to turn my fan to her side. Like, this not your fan. Or when it came to my light, she would use my light. Like, or when it came to, I don't know. It was just a lot of little things. Like, when you don't know somebody very well, you need to ask them for their things. Like, you just don't automatically assume. Like, even when it came like to my noodles, she switched out my noodles with her noodles and said, oh, I kind of liked your noodles, so I switched them out. You didn't ask me. Like, you didn't ask me. Like, they gave her like a whole week to move out. She took her time. When I say she took her time to move out, her very, very much time to move out. Then she had her friends coming here and, fake be loud and to get her stuff. Like, oh, I'm so happy I'm moving. Like, I'm very happy that you're happy too, because I don't want you in my space. But I feel like if we weren't roommates, we could have been cool. But it's two different things, like being roommates with somebody and being friends with somebody. That's, it's two different things. And we didn't share the same cleanliness. Like, I was raised a different way, she was raised a different way, and we didn't come to an agreement. But I don't feel like I don't have any regrets, because I do like my own personal space in general. So I'm kind of happy that I have my own space. But do I wish I had a great roommate? I do. But that was the story of Hungry Hippo. She was eating my stuff up. And then, y'all, why do my dad to this day still make jokes? He'd be like, yeah, she hungry hippo, come in here, eat your food. Like,